In this week's video, we will be reviewing multiple snap circuit kits so you can find out which one is perfect for your cooperative, homeschooling, or general educational needs. We're going to discuss the pros, the cons, the different price points of all of these kits, and we'll start off by discussing why they call them snap circuits. Well, they do a lot of snapping. Snap circuits have been around for over 40 years, and they are made by the Elanco company, whose mission is to provide quality, innovative, affordable products designed to instill a passion for learning. At least that is what their website says. And just from a marketing standpoint, I probably would have taken a picture where the student looks a little bit happier to be playing with your product. Remember last year when we posted the kitchen science video and it looked like my daughter's puppy had just been run over by the car? It's not easy getting kids to smile. I digress. To show you which snap circuit kit is going to be best for your homeschooling environment, we will be directly comparing the Snap Circuits Skill Builder set with the Snap Circuits 3D Meg kit, with the Meg standing for magnetism, electronics, and gears. I'll also show you how they compare to other kits that you may be able to find at a store near you or online, because just a quick Amazon search reveals over 40 different snap circuit kits available for purchase. Let's start with the similarities among the kits. Both kits are designated for ages 8 and up, although the 3D version for some reason seems to put an unnecessary cap on 108 years. Sorry, Grandpa. Both of these kits are great ways to introduce your kids to electricity and some various science topics that go along with it, such as voltage, current, power, and resistance. And before we go any further, I do want to say that generally speaking, I like the snap circuit kits a lot. But there is one problem with each kit that we've used in our house, and I'm going to discuss that in just a minute, so you can decide if that's going to be a deal breaker for you before you purchase it. The differences between the kits that we have purchased are pretty subtle. The main difference, other than the price, and I'll talk about that in a second, is essentially the number of parts and projects that are allowed with each kit. The Skill Builder has around 30 parts, while the 3D Meg has over 60. And that difference in the part numbers accounts for the Skill Builder being able to provide 125 different projects, while the 3D Meg version has over 160. The amount of projects in each kit can be a little misleading though, as there can be some significant overlap in some of the builds. Take for example projects 99 and 100 in the Skill Builder set. Project 100 states you're basically using the circuit from 99 and just switching out 2 of the projects to create a different project. Yes, it's technically a different project, but it's basically the same thing. The reality is the core of the educational content in these kits and basically all the snap circuit kits is essentially the same. And to prove that, all you need to do is look at the handouts that come with them. You can see that essentially they have the same do's and don'ts page, the same introduction to electricity page is also nearly identical, and this brings me back to the title of the video. This is the snap circuit kit that you need. It's a little clickbaity and I apologize, but the reason I said that is basically the snap circuit kit that's perfect for you, since they essentially all teach the same concept, is the kit that fits into your budget, because at their core they all cover the same topics. There are some differences among the kits and I'll discuss that more in just a second. With that said, however, I do have some specific recommendations, and I still haven't discussed the one problem I found in many of these snap circuit kits, and that's coming up. Finding the one that fits your budget notwithstanding, there are some advantages to getting the kit like the 3D Meg over the Skill Builder and other smaller kits. And it really doesn't have anything to do with the number of parts or the number of projects that you're able to build. It's more about the size of the kit, giving your child the opportunity to create their own build without being confined to the smaller kit sizes. The Skill Builder set comes with one flat surface, and if you utilize all the parts, you quickly begin to run out of real estate, whereas the 3D Meg kit has multiple surfaces for you to put together in a 2D environment, or using their special connectors and additional plates, you can create a 3D space that really gives you the freedom to build and create something on your own if your child is really enjoying the kit. Another thing I would recommend, however, even though the core lesson of these kits deals significantly with electricity, some of the kits have different themes. For example, if you go to Amazon's website, you can see some of the kits deal with renewable energy, some have a mechanical rover you can build, and there are even some that essentially allow you to build an arcade. So if you know down the road you're going to be covering those topics, then perhaps you can get the kit that might allow you to cover 2 birds with 1 stone. But speaking of topics, now it's time for me to talk about the thing that I really don't like about these kits, and that's the booklet that comes with them. This is a real significant missed opportunity I feel for the company, because if you've watched some of our other physics kit reviews, you know how much of a fan I am when the manuals come with additional science information and sometimes quizzes at the end. The quiz is always a party bonus. It gives you some objective data to know that your child learned something. And it is also good for your record keeping in case the State Department of Education ever comes knocking on your door wanting some proof that you're actually homeschooling your kids like you say you are. I'm a real big fan of the science manual that comes with it, providing some additional information. If you look at their kits on their introductory to electricity pages, they basically spend 1 or 2 paragraphs talking about it and then provide the definition to some pretty common terms such as resistance and voltage. So that's really the only thing that I don't like about these kits. Now, I'm not going to end the video on a negative note about the kits, so let's go back to some of the positives. And one is their durability. I purchased the Skill Builder kit a few weeks ago knowing we already had the 3D Meg kit at home. It had been at least 2 years since we used it, but after getting the old kit out of the attic, putting together the first build with my son, everything worked just fine. Even the batteries that we put in there were doing great. The pieces feel like a very durable plastic, and again, this kit's been in the attic for 2 years, so I know it's going to hold up. So if you've got multiple kids or are part of a homeschooling cooperative environment where you have several kids coming through, these kits are going to be able to withstand a lot of abuse and stay with you for several years. So my actual recommendation is if you get a snap circuit kit but don't have additional supplemental information at home about electricity, I've recommended this Oozeborn science book more times than I can remember, and this is a prime example of why it's so good. You can easily look up electricity here and see that it's got several pages dedicated to the topic. Now you can have your kids read some additional information that backs up what they've been learning on the snap circuit kits, or vice versa. Have them read first and then get some hands-on information with the kits, which is probably the better way to do it. So in summary, the kits are very durable. The kits are great about teaching electricity. My kids really enjoy the different builds and putting some of their own builds together. And if you're OCD like me, you have to appreciate how in the packaging everything has its place and there's a place for everything. Regarding the pricing, I'll leave a link in the description below. As I've said before on the channel, it's really hard to recommend something based on prices because what's reasonable for some family might be quite unreasonable for another. So again, the pricing and links to some of these kits I'll put in the description. But speaking of links in the description, if I didn't have any snap circuit kits at home and I was going out to buy one, I would recommend getting the 3D version for the reasons that we talked about. It's just a bigger kit and it's less about the number of projects that you're able to do and more about giving your child the creative space to create their own project without feeling confined to one board. And interestingly enough, as I was doing some background research on these kits, I found out they actually don't make this specific version anymore. They still produce a 3D version, but it's called the 3D Illuminations. Most importantly, it allows you to build in a 3D space, gives your child a lot more space creatively to create their own project. So I would recommend that one first. But as I said, and I firmly believe it, if the price of that one is cost prohibitive to you, the educational topics covered are the same. So get the snap circuit kit that's in your budget. The smaller Skill Builder set that I have, my kid, especially my son, really loved. He truly could sit there and launch that fan all day long and have a great time. And by the way, if you're not homeschooling in your pajamas at least some of the time, you're doing it wrong. That's it for this week's video where we deal with the snap circuits. If you get any benefit from this and you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so. Like, comment, I read them all. It's actually not that hard to do because we don't get that many comments. I was just gifted a several month supply of Mel Science kits. I am looking forward to doing those kits with my kids and making a video and really comparing those kits to KiwiCo and see how they stack up. So if you've ever been interested in the Mel Science kits and to see how they compare to KiwiCo, that video will be coming out in the next few months, so be sure and stick around for that. I hope you have a great day, everybody, and we'll see you next week.